The following is a Hoop Ball presentation. Welcome to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Fantasy NBA Today show it's August, Josh. We're in August 1st, 2019. My name is Neil Rochlani. The Josh I was mentioning was Josh Millman. He's back on with me. He's back here to... I don't know. Are you back because you just want to laugh at me about last week's mock draft? Are you back because you want to be on the show? Is there more to it than just making fun of what I did last week?
I do really enjoy making fun of you. I will admit that.
Okay.
But you put me on the spot last week, and when you were like, hey, you coming back on next week? And I was like, oh, we usually talk about this stuff off air, but sure, why not? Yeah, I'll be back. I got to give the people what they want. So
the people are demanding.
The people are demanding. So I'm back. Hey, I like doing this stuff. You know that. So
yeah,
it's fun. Let's shoot the bull a little bit.
Yeah, the fantasy news is very light. NBA news is very light. I know right before we started recording, you were talking about some people we've never heard about signing to different franchises.
Yeah.
Let me back up a second. I should mention this is a Hoop Ball presentation and sponsored by Hawaiian Isles Kona Coffee. Taste the Hawaiian Isles difference. Pick up a bag of Hawaiian Isles at Amazon.com or at their website, HawaiianIsles.com. I'm trying to do a radio voice. It's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened either. I
don't know what's going on. Like, yeah. I mean, give the good people at Hawaiian Isles like the real Neil. Don't try to don't try to fake it out there. Like Hawaiian Isles Kona Coffee. Drink their coffee or use them as trophies like I do. Yeah. Either which way, you're getting a quality product. How about that?
Yeah, and if you're still listening, by the way, to the show, Dan Bespris, if you're a new listener, he's usually on the show. This is his podcast. But over the summer, he's just doing the show Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I have the privilege of hosting on Thursday, and Josh is often here to join me, and then on Fridays it's Adrian Benjamins and Coach. All right, so last week, if you happen to tune in, Josh and I started a mock draft, mainly because we were upset that our leader Dan Bespris says mock drafts are not all that important, which is probably true in the grand scheme of life. But in terms of my entertainment value, they're very high. They're very high in my entertainment value.
I would completely agree with that. Yes, this was just to kind of rub it in Bespris' face. But again, the side effect of that was I got to make fun of your picks as a result. So it was all good. It was a win-win for me either which way.
Yeah, I don't think I mentioned this to you, Josh, but I had a priest come over last week to try to have an exorcism so I could forget my mock draft.
Oh dear God!
Yeah. So you're gonna have to
literally and figuratively.
Yes. So you're gonna have to remind me of. I think I took Blake overall number 1. Is that correct?
Yeah, close enough. No, he was a second round pick. I do have our first few rounds of mock, so that we can refresh for our most loyal fans. Who come on, let's be honest. They come to listen to the Thursday shows anyway. I mean, that's really what we're here for.
Yes.
But for the sake of reminding everyone, this is for all just, some off-season fun for Neil and myself. And we basically kind of flipped an imaginary coin. I got the number 1 overall pick. And we just basically did odds and evens like we were school children, splitting teams up. So to start out, so the number 1.
Oh wait! I'm sorry to interrupt you really quickly. Did you want to do some news? I'm sorry. You said Did you want to talk about any news or not?
Dude, you interrupted me in the middle of the mock. We'll get to the news.
Okay. I thought...
Like I'm already neck deep into reviewing the mock. And you're like, hey, let's talk about.
We haven't even got to team 1.
I know that, but like, I mean, you're interrupting reintroducing my mock to talk about Jeremy Lin's contract situation or
Well,
Zach
I mean,
Collins' ankle injury.
does that Zach Collins' ankle injury affect your rating on him?
No, he's not being drafted in this mock. I mean, let's focus on let's prioritize.
All right, yeah, our mock draft is pretty important. You're right. Let's get back to it.
But
Sure.
but now that you've interrupted me, and I have to now talk about Zach Collins' knee or ankle. Sorry, Zach Collins has a grade 2 sprain in his right ankle, as well as a torn ligament. He suffered it while training, but it does not require surgery. The Blazers will probably just be cautious, but it's not expected to miss training camp or anything like that. So it's probably, by the time the training camp and the season rolls around, Zach Collins should be fine. But considering how thin the Blazers front court is with Jusuf Nurkic out, it might be something to keep an eye on, just if it lingers through training camp. But that's about it.
If he is not playing, does that bolster anyone for you out there in Portland?
Not really. I mean, because behind Hassan White, I mean, look, it means Hassan Whiteside isn't really leaving the court at all. But it means, other short of, say, like Miles Leonard or the 10, 15 minutes that Pau Gasol is actually capable of playing, there's really not much of a lift there. But all it would mean is that, Whiteside's not really going anywhere. And the Heat situation became untenable for him. But Whiteside, when he was, in his Heat heyday, was a top 20 player. And I don't know if he can go back to that, but there's a pretty big risk-reward factor with Hassan Whiteside. And if there's no depth behind him and he's got to play a lot of minutes, you never know what can happen there.
Yeah, I think it does nothing to anyone because I just think he's gonna play. He might get to 20 minutes a night. We'll see.
Who, Whiteside?
No, Collins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I think Leonard. I think Myers Leonard's gone actually from Portland.
Is he?
I'm pretty sure he's gone. I could be wrong.
That goes to show you how up to date I am.
Yeah, but you're right. There's no one else really who's gonna. It's gonna be Whiteside's role until Nurkic comes back, and Zach Collins might have some relevancy in deeper leagues.
You're right. He was involved in the Whiteside deal. He went to the Miami Heat. What the hell's wrong with me?
Yeah, that's all right. It's all right.
This is summer brain at this point. So,
All right. I'm going to interrupt you again. Do you want to go back to your mock?
now that
we're knee deep in the news?
Neil is just like interrupting Cow here. Let's go back to the mock. Let's do the mock.
All right.
Which was my pride and joy to begin with. Okay. To recap.
Yes.
12-team leagues.
Yes.
We are attempting to do something resembling 9-cat.
Okay.
And so team, I'm odds. Neil, you're evens. The number 1 overall pick was Anthony Davis, followed by Steph Curry. James Harden went number 3. Giannis went number 4. Number 5 was Karl Anthony Towns, Nikola Jokic. Number 6, Damian Lillard went number 7 overall. Joel Embiid, number 8. Brad Beal, number 9. LeBron James, number 10. Number 11 was Kawhi Leonard. And rounding out the first round was Jimmy Butler.
All right.
So,
what was your favorite pick of that first round?
Favorite pick of that.
Looking back on it, what do you think your best pick was? How about that?
I'm going to go with my bet. All right. So again, evens, odds.
Right.
Those picks were Anthony Davis, James Harden, Karl Anthony Towns, Damian Lillard, Brad Beal, and Kawhi Leonard. I think my favorite pick of that group is probably I think that like my favorite was Anthony. I like taking Anthony Davis number 1 because again I just think that he's going to be motivated now out in LA, and I think he's when he's playing as close to a full schedule as possible, he's hands down the best fantasy player on the planet. But the guy that we should say, and of course, and the player that I believe will be the best pick out of all of that will end up being Kawhi Leonard to me. And this is so, I didn't see this. I was going through Twitter today. This is actually like, we'll get to the mock in a second, but we'll segue just something that I had seen on Twitter. I forget who was doing. I think either Mike was on a pod or Daryl Morey maybe, or someone with the Rockets brass. I actually think it was Morey. And I'll try to look for where I found, but he did a pod that came out either today or yesterday, where he was talking about load management for James Harden and Russell Westbrook. And it's something that, like, I didn't really get it. It didn't get too much attention in, the Twitter universe or fantasy universe, but I was, this was today. Daryl Morey says Rockets will build load management plan for Russell Westbrook and James Harden to help him peak in April. Dude, that's huge fantasy implications, because we are always talking about James Harden as like the surefire, he's always going to play, always going to deliver type of player. And then, here's Morey he's on the Dan Patrick show. Yeah, so that's what it was. Daryl Morey was on the Dan Patrick show and talking about load management, wanting to be cautious with the two superstar guards because Westbrook's played a ton of minutes in a ton of games, and so has Harden. And seeing what the Raptors did with Kawhi, he wants his stars to be fresh. So,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. So that's that was the news, like, that stuck out to me today, at least with the Harden pick, and why now it's kind of even more solidifies Anthony Davis as the number one guy to me.
Yeah, well, I think next year we're going to see a lot of load management, which I think for fantasy has two implications. One, if you're in a head-to-head league, God bless you, because it's going to be so hard to play your stars down the stretch. I mean, you're not going to know who's going to be sitting, who's not, unless your league ends very early. I had both my leagues ended at the end of March, and there were still a lot of guys who rested in that time frame. So it becomes a lot more random and a lot more being in tune with the news and being very strategic. You just can't rely on your regular season guys to win it. Secondly, I think, guys like Kawhi, who may not play up to 70 games. We'll see where he gets this year. I think he's going to be in the high 60s is my guess. I think that's probably accurate. And I think Harden might only be 70, 72. So I don't think it's going to be much difference between Harden and Kawhi this year. I would say at most it's a 5 to 8 game difference, barring any injury. Yeah.
I really think that the league, they've been talking about this for a while. They're going to have to go to something lower than an 82 game season, because, you go to I know that this is like bigger business implications and stuff like that than our little fantasy world, but who among the best players in the league are playing 80 something games anymore? It's not happening. All of these guys are resting at one point or another. And really, those are the guys that everyone's paying money to see in the first place. So I don't know, what's going to happen. But if they lower I know that they can't force the Players Association to say, you guys have to play if we lower the amount of games played. But all of this rest nonsense, not nonsense. It's just, they're taking random games off. Like, if they lower the season, then there's got to be something give back where the players are like, all right, short of injury, there's no more like quote unquote load management. I don't know. I don't know how that plays out in the future.
Yeah, I don't know either, because the playoffs will always matter exponentially more than the regular season. So there will always be incentive to rest no matter how many games you play. I don't know how you fix it. But I do think 82 games is ridiculous. Just from it's kind of like the baseball thing, right? I just think it's such a long season.
It's it is a long season, but look, I mean, I feel like I'm so used to it over the years, and maybe some of these guys are too. But but when you think about it, it's like college. These guys play at most like 35, 40 games in a season, and then they're like pretty much double it. For once they get to the league, so it's kind of intense.
That and the games are longer, which is the only other sport where that changes.
The games are longer, the travel's longer. It's a pretty ridiculous schedule when you think about it.
That was kind of the big news of the day then. I think that.
Yeah, it kind of was.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see that across every single top fantasy pick. I mean, Towns is the only one who's consistently around 80 games a year, if I'm accurate. And then maybe... And I'm not even sure who'll do it this year, so we'll see.
Yeah, who knows at this point?
All right,
all right. So we keep diverting from the task at hand, which is me making fun of Neil's team. So again, so with the first round recap, the second round went, wrapping it around, went Rudy Gobert, Kyrie Irving, Paul George, Nick Vucevic, Kemba Walker, Andre Drummond, Drew Holiday, Russell Westbrook, and the pick of the big shock, Blake Griffin, then Miles Turner, then Kyle Lowry, and lastly in the second round, Pascal Siakam. So starting out in the third round, team one is the team of Anthony Davis and Pascal Siakam. Oh God! So I'm putting myself like immediately on the spot.
Yeah. Do you want to hop right back into this?
What choice do we have now? We got to pull the trigger here. We keep getting like distracted by Zach Kroenke and load management for the Houston Rockets. So we got to pull the trigger here, or it's never going to get done. So
all right, you're up.
All right. So team one, Anthony Davis and Pascal Siakam. I probably need to consider a guard at this point. I don't know that I love any of the pure point guards, but I do. There is a guard that I think would fit well with this team, and his name is Devin Booker. So I'm going to pick Devin Booker with the first pick in the third round to go with Anthony Davis and Pascal Siakam.
Okay. All right. And then remind me again where team two is.
Team two is the point guard duo of Steph Curry and Kyle Lowry.
This was okay. So I made two fatal flaws in the second round. One was Blake Griffin. Second was Kyle Lowry. All right. I'm going to go with, I'm not going to waste time. I'm going to go with DeAndre Ayton.
Interesting. All right. They need a big man on that team. Okay. So what the team that we pretty much agreed upon was like our favorite team before today's news about load management. James Harden and Miles Turner. I don't know here. So we got, a really quality guard, really quality big man. So I really feel I can go any which way here. So I am going to go with another big man here. Actually, no. Am I going to go with another big man? No, I'm gonna. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna do this. Zion Williamson.
Oh my God!
I'm doing it.
You want to make a side bet?
Do I want to make a side bet about what?
Blake Griffin has.
What's the side bet?
Blake Griffin has a better fantasy year than Zion Williamson.
I see. That's interesting. I mean, I feel like Zion Williamson is going to be drafted that high in most leagues. Like, I don't think you're seeing him much past the third round. You can take Blake Griffin in the second, obviously, but as far as just heads up being better,
fantasy wise,
fantasy wise,
yeah, just fantasy wise, of course.
But you know what? I will just take the bet just for the sake of taking the bet, because I feel like they would probably finish right around the range of like that top 50-ish player. That's where I believe that they will finish. But they are going to get drafted ahead of being those top 50 players.
That's interesting.
So I
So
think
even though you think he's 50ish, you're going to take him at 27 because you're worried about him being taken by someone else. Is that
namely you?
Yeah, of
apparently.
course.
So,
Yeah.
no, I'm trying to anticipate where I think, we're doing this exercise just as a 2-man mock, but I'm trying to anticipate it as like, all right, if I was to do participate in a 12-man mock, where do I feel like he would end up? And this feels like an area where someone is going to reach out and try to grab him.
Okay, fair enough. All right, you got to remind me team 4. I don't have any of these teams written down.
No, I just reminded you. We just talked about team 4. It's Giannis and your boy Blake Griffin.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm going to go with Chris Paul.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's your pick.
That's
Chris
my pick.
Paul.
My pick is Chris Paul.
This is the greatest fantasy team I've ever seen assembled. It's
It's boomer bust, baby, at this point.
This whole team is boomer bust. So now this team is Giannis, Blake Griffin, and Chris Paul.
Yes.
Well, at least Giannis and Blake Griffin will actually play. Chris Paul, we're not really sure how many games we're going to be able to squeeze out of him at this point. But hey, I'm sure he does complement Giannis and Blake Griffin pretty well. Oh man, this is an interesting. That was an unexpected turn of events, I will say.
Half my picks are made just to throw you off.
I did a really good job of doing that there. Oh my God!
All right, who's your pairing on 5?
Team number 5 is Karl Anthony Towns and Russell Westbrook. I'm gonna go. Let's double up on big men here. This is what I would think I wanted to do originally. I'm gonna go with Clint Capella.
Oh, interesting. Okay. 6.
All right, so team 6 is Nikola. Also a very good start here. Nikola Jokic and Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday. I might screw it up right here. Kevin Love.
Wow, Kevin Love. I was not expecting that either. Wow. Jokic. I do like Kevin Love in the basketball player in theory. It's he just missed a lot of games with injury. So if he stays healthy, that should be the area which he should deliver value on. Okay, team number 7 is Damian Lillard and Andre Drummond. A lot of different directions to go in here. Let me. I'm going to go with Tobias Harris.
Oh.
Did I snipe you?
You did, but it's all right.
Yes.
I thought you were going to go with him last round. 8th, team 8 is...
8th is Joel Embiid and Kemba Walker, also a very fun pairing.
Yeah, I like this. Okay. Who do I want to screw this up with? Wow. I can't do that to this team.
Oh, boy. Do it.
No,
Do it.
I want to keep this one consistent. This one has a chance. Oh, boy.
It gets tough, man.
It starts to get a little interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
I'll go Draymond Green.
Oh, very nice. Okay. That's not a bad pick. I don't mind that pick there. Actually,
You're like, hey, you actually did something right. Well, good job.
I like that pick. I like that pick there.
All right.
Well, wow. Okay, that's a really good team shaping up you have there. Okay, so team number 9 is Bradley Beal, Nick Vucevic. I'm not really super excited about this team. Let me see.
Oh, it's a solid team so far.
It's a solid team.
These could be 2 first-round players. Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels like just such a boring team is my only point.
It's not a flashy team. No,
it's not a flashy
statistically,
team.
It's a very solid team, though.
So maybe I do add a little bit of flash here. and go with Trae Young.
Okay. That could
You
be
don't like that?
No, I like it.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I like trade. I just turnovers. Do you punt turnovers? Or do you care about?
I punt turnovers.
Well, then,
yeah,
then,
I punt turnovers.
then
I would
fine.
much rather. Yeah, that's my mo is. So my two MOs in non-cat and head-to-head leagues is I don't try to focus on one category versus an X, and turnovers are just part of the game. I don't really pay too much attention. Chances are the guys that are turning the ball over a lot, save for guys who don't do anything else in other categories, are generally contributors across the board. So I try not to pay that too much mind.
Okay. Team 10 is
LeBron James and Paul George.
Oh, God.
United, and it feels so good.
Yeah, James and George. I don't want to go another wing, do I?
That'd be crazy talk.
It would be crazy talk, but there's a couple wings I like. Shoot. All the guys I like are wings. All right, I'm gonna roll the dice on this guy.
All right.
Porzingis.
Wow. Interesting. We don't think he's going to have like a big minutes restriction, then, do we?
Yes, we do.
We do. Yeah.
I think he's going to be capped at 28 to 30. We'll
okay.
See. Yeah.
Where do we think? So, do you feel that this is kind of the area where he's going to get picked, like late third round?
I think I would. Yeah, I would probably take him fourth round, but I just.
Okay.
I don't want to go three wings, and I like wings better, but I'm not going to go three wings.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Kawhi Leonard and Kyrie Irving. I do like this combination. I'm going to pick another guy that I don't expect to be on the board very long, especially with blocks at a premium. Mitchell Robinson.
Oh, my gosh. That is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a high risk, high reward.
That's a very, very high risk. But, man, he was like, look, to finish the year, he was an absolute stud. He's got a very clear path, even with all the retooling that the Knicks did. He's got at least 20 to 25 minutes on there, and we saw some of the damage that he can do in a limited amount of minutes. And if by chance they take the leash off of him,
yep,
it could be big. But with with blocks at such a premium, and look, he shot damn near 70% last year. Look, huge risk reward, but man, he could really build upon last year and the defense with defensive stats galore. So never know.
All right. Yeah. That's too risky for me, but
it's a big risk.
But here's the thing. He could really outperform Blake Griffin. That one I believe could be possible. All right. Team 12 is
Jimmy Butler and Rudy Gobert.
Oh, Butler, Gobert. All right.
Another solid pairing, yes.
Yes. I need a point guard, but I also need wings. All right. My first wing is going to be I get 2 picks here, right?
Yes, you do.
All right. So I'm going to go with Middleton.
Okay, solid. Expecting a bounce back year, clearly.
I am expecting a big bounce back year. And I'm going to go John Collins.
Very nice. Those are 2 solid picks. This is actually looking like a pretty solid team. You're no point guard yet, but there's still time.
Yeah, I know. But those are just the point guards aren't. I totally forgot about a point guard. Anyway, go ahead. You're up.
Well, I don't need a point guard here because this team 11 has Kyrie Irving, so I probably won't snipe your guy here. So I have Kawhi Leonard, Kyrie Irving, Mitchell Robinson. So I could probably use, I'm not going to really focus too much on blocks anymore. I could use another scoring threat, I feel. So I'm going to go with Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell. I like that pick. You have 2 Mitchells in a row, by the way.
I do. Yes, 2 Mitchells.
Yeah, a couple Mitchells.
Mitchell. Oh, yeah. How about that? Team 11 is now Team Mitchell. I love it.
All right. James, Paul George, Kristaps Porzingis, and which point guard I want? I'm also going to go for the moon. I'm going to go with De'Aaron Fox.
Wow. did not go the safe route like I was expecting.
No,
you
I did
to.
not go safe route. Yeah.
Bold pick. I
Yeah.
do like De'Aaron Fox. That's a pretty bold pick. Okay. Bradley Beal, Nick Vucevic, Trae Young. This is outside of Trae Young. This feels like a kind of boringish team. So I'm going to. You do like this team,
I do like
okay?
This team.
That might be the kiss of death. Oh man. So I need to. All right, I feel like I need to pair up Vooch with someone, and I'm going to go with Jaren Jackson Jr.
Oh my gosh, that's huge.
You like it?
There's someone who's much safer, but I like I think if he could be a second-round player.
He could be big.
He could be great.
Could be big.
Really
that
could.
might have been the steal of the draft there.
Could
We'll
have been.
see.
All right.
Steal of the mock.
Embiid, Walker, Draymond Green. Don't really need the defensive stats as much. But I think this guy is a nice piece to kind of round out any team. I'm going to go with Robert Covington.
I like it.
All right.
I like it. There's plenty of bounce back opportunity. He'll probably be a nice draft bargain this year.
I'm counting on it. Yeah.
We certainly hope so, but he can deliver. We know that. And he's probably going to play a lot of the four. So I would imagine that he's, they'll keep him on the floor. I'd imagine so long as he's healthy. Back to team number 7, which is Damian Lillard, Andre Drummond, and Tobias Harris. I could probably go a bunch of different ways here. I can't do that. I can't do that either. This is getting difficult. I think this is where I kind of make my boring pick.
I know exactly where you're going.
You know exactly where I'm going?
If it's boring.
It's very boring.
It's the most boring, predictable player out there.
I don't know. It's LaMarcus Aldridge.
That's who it.
Yeah. I'm becoming that predictable in this mock draft.
Well, I mean, he at fourth round, he's decent value.
Yeah, he's decent value. I mean, he's going to deliver. It kind of is what it is. Safe, secure, boring. I don't know. Like I used to really like watching LaMarcus Aldridge play, but it's kind of like, it's same guy, same stats, boring Spurs team. I don't know, But hey, they can't all be boomer bust picks, I guess.
All right, Nikola Jokic, Drew Holiday, Kevin Love. I kind of screwed my team on blocks. Let's go with. He's too good to pass up. I'm going to go with Mike Conley.
I like it. Solid. I feel like I didn't have a team. Like I wanted to take him, and I never had a team that had like a free, a need for a point guard. So, solid pick there.
Thank you.
Karl-Anthony Towns, Russell Westbrook, and Clint Capella. This team could go in any freaking direction. But I don't want, between. I mean, Towns can knock down a three, but not a lot. Westbrook too, but he tends to clang them more than he does make them. And Capella's non-existent. So I need someone who's going to hit threes with volume. So I'm going to pick Buddy Hield here.
Ooh, that is a bold move. I like it.
Yeah,
I like Buddy Hield. I think he'll be top 50.
Buddy.
I think he's a top 50 safe play pick.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, Giannis, Blake, Chris Paul. This is the team.
This is my favorite team.
This could be just a disaster. So I'm going to continue on with that train of thought.
Just disaster mode here.
Yeah. So just reaching for the stars on boomer bust players. I'm going to go Jason Tatum.
Wow. All right. I don't even think he's that boomer bust. I mean, I think he kind of had a not great year last year, but I think he's gonna play well this year. I think without Horford, without Kyrie, Morris is gone. I think he's got opportunity to shine now.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right. James Harden, Miles Turner, Zion. With the crazy Zion with the crazy pick there. You know what? This feels like after Harden and Turner, this team kind of felt like, you know what, with the Zion pick, I'm just going to go for broke. So I'm going to do it again here. I'm going to go with Luka Doncic.
Oh my.
I'm going to go with Luka Doncic.
I think that's okay. I think he's fine.
It's okay. But also again, I think this is kind of the general area in which he will go. And I think we're trying to keep, the turnovers may kill him and we don't know if he can improve, his percentages.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a pretty steep floor if he doesn't, but if he does improve the percentage, the ceiling can be really high. And the kid was 19 years old, playing the way he played. And he just really kind of, wore down at the end of the season, but he was amazing to watch early on. So hopefully he can put the full season together.
Yeah, I mean, his free throw percentage is what kind of bothered me, but I think he'll bounce back. I think he'll get better.
I agree.
All right, Curry, Lowry, Ayton, and I'm going to add Ben Simmons.
Wow. This is some team.
Yes.
You pretty much own assists here, I would say.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how Curry does.
You're just basically saying that Steph, between Steph and Lowry, you'll dominate threes on your own. You'll get plenty. Steals out the wazoo.
I think Curry and Lowry could balance Simmons' free throw percent. We'll see.
I actually don't mind the pick now that I'm looking at just the team build. So well done there.
Thank you.
All right, and to round things out and to put a bow on this, Anthony Davis, Pascal Siakam, and Devin Booker, they could really use a point guard. And I'm not going to lie, I was looking at Ben Simmons for this pick. I kind of shot myself in the foot by taking Luka Doncic with the previous team. So I need to figure out some sort of backup plan. I may take a bit of a bold. I don't even know if this is might be slight bit of a reach, but I think based on the situation he's in, it might not be that big of a reach. And plus, my MO when picking at super early, like the number one overall pick or the 12 when you've got back-to-back picks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got a feeling about a guy, just take him because chances are that guy's not going to last another 2 rounds. So I'm going to go with Malcolm Brogdon here.
Whoa. Did not see that.
I know. I mean, look, we're at pick number 48 right now.
Yes.
So do I think that he can be a top 50 player? Maybe.
Can I clown on you? I think you missed somebody. I think you forgot about somebody.
I think I forgot about somebody?
Yeah.
Go ahead, clown on me. That's okay. I clowned on you plenty already. So
Eric Bledsoe.
Yeah, I don't know. I know where I have him, but But look,
okay.
Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say about Brogdon. I mean, because he's on the Pacers now. There's going to be no Oladipo for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
The percentages are outstanding for guard, and I think they're going to lean on him to be a score facilitator on that team. So I think he could be in for a huge season. On a per game basis, last year he was 63 over the course of the full season on a pretty loaded Milwaukee team. Now he's going to an Indiana team that is going to doesn't lost Darren Collison to retirement, doesn't have Victor Oladipo for however long in the season, also lost Bojan Bogdanovic. Tyreek Evans is suspended. There are a bunch of holes to fill, and he can fill them. And I think that he's a heck of a player. So and again, My MO is if you believe in a guy and you don't think at the ends of the draft you will see him, I have no problem with you going for it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's when you have to trust your instincts, right?
Yeah,
And you also have to know your league because you're right. He may not come back to you.
right.
And if you really like him, you should probably take him. All right.
I mean, look, you are an expert, save for the Blake Griffin stuff here.
Yeah.
But
all right.
I don't trust you to not take him. So,
all right. Who's your favorite team so far? I mean, of all the 12 teams, who do you think is the best team?
oh man, this is an interesting one because each of these teams have some degree of risk reward built in, which I like. I think now looking at it right now, of my teams, my favorite team now might be team number 9 with Beal, Vooch, Trae Young, and Jaren Jackson, which is kind of nuts. Come to think about it, but as I was doing this, I'm like, Trae. I mean, look, if you punt the turnovers, Young has such an insane ceiling, and so does Jaren Jackson. And Beal, I believe in Beal, and Vooch is Vooch. So that's a pretty good, well-rounded team right there.
Yeah, these are all starting to shape up as interesting competition. I have no idea who I like best. I'm gonna probably have to go with Embiid, Walker, Green, and Covington.
I do like that team.
I
like that team a lot.
It's just the safest team.
I Embiid again with the games played is a risk, and to a degree Covington is as well. But I like the way that team was shaping out.
We'll see.
I think you got a good mix there. So I don't know. Everyone, you can feel free to tell us who your favorite team is on Twitter. I'm at Josh Millman. Neil is at Ball with Neil. Or just feel free to mock Neil, which is totally fine. Because,
or mock Josh. That works too.
Or mock Neil, either which way. Mock us both. Who cares? Mock this mock.
You want to do a Hawaiian Isles promo?
Yeah. So I can avoid you doing your goofy radio voice.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, Fantasy NBA Today was sponsored. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fantasy NBA Today was sponsored by Hawaiian Isles, Kona Coffee. Look for them on Amazon. What's the website? I don't have it memorized off the top of my head.
HawaiianIsles.com. Hey, what you're
HawaiianIsles.com.
You're holding up a nice bag of Hawaiian Isles. What
type of flavor? What
flavor is that?
This is Kona Dark Roast.
Kona Dark Roast.
Yes.
All right.
So get their stuff. We appreciate them being a sponsor of the show. Glad to have them with us. You should really check them out. Hawaiian Isles. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thanks for everyone for listening and putting up with this continuation of the mock draft. We are going to keep doing this, I believe, until we get some news.
We have content to fill.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks again for listening. Tomorrow on the show will be Adrian Benjamins and Coach, and for the Dan Besbris lovers, he will be back on Monday. Thanks again for listening, and talk to you then.
This has been a Hoop Ball presentation.